Good day, wellness advocates. This is me again, Teacher Michelle Falame Menjola, your wellness coach of the day. We are now in our session 2 with the topic from trash to treasure. As we learned during our last session, taking resources from the environment, making them into products, then disposing these products. This is called a linear economy. In a linear economy, natural resources are taken and made into products that are used and then disposed. So what is the problem with the linear economy? We will eventually run out of resources that are not easily renewed, and we will run out of space for our trash. We need to shift our thinking and behavior toward a circular economy. In a circular economy, we maximize the use of and reduce the need of new raw materials. We do not need to take more raw materials every time we need to create new products. Instead, products are designed in such a way that we lessen the resources we take from the earth. Products are designed so that its components are built to last or can be reused, recycled, or repaired, not merely disposed. In a circular economy, we aim to recover materials for further use. To help you understand this concept, let's imagine typical forest filled with trees and plants. Insects like grasshoppers and caterpillars roam freely around the forest, eating off these plants and trees. These insects are eaten or in turn by small animals such as birds or frogs. Birds or frogs are preyed upon by larger animals such as snakes. When a snake dies, it decomposes and returns to the ground. Its decomposing body provides nutrients to the soil that allows trees and plants to grow. The cycle starts all over again. So, you see, in the forest, nothing goes to waste. This is similar to what a circular economy aims to achieve. Now, let's look at the process of manufacturing a bottle of drinking water. In the case of a plastic bottle, our raw material is oil and fossil fuel, and these are extracted from the ground. The raw material is shipped to a facility where it is made into plastic material called polymer or resin. Polymer is a useful chemical made of many repeating units. So, at this point, the raw material is already formed into plastic but not yet formed into this product, the plastic bottle. The plastic material is transported again to another facility that molds the material into the shape of bottles. The empty plastic bottles are taken yet another facility where the beverage, in this case, drinking water, is placed inside. The bottled water is then sealed and stored in packaging boxes to protect the content. The bottles are transported yet again, this time to a warehouse. From this warehouse, the bottles are brought to places where they can be sold like a supermarket or convenience store. Customers go to convenience store to buy the product. There are people who just throw these plastic bottles away, adding to the trash in our landfill. But in a circular economy, we must look for ways to avoid having to extract more oil to make plastic bottles. We would gather used plastic bottles and recycle them for future products. Doing this does not require new oil and fossil fuels to be extracted from the earth. This makes use of plastic materials that are already existing, and therefore, this benefits the environment. Let's look at a few more examples. First, we all know that the paper is extracted from trees. It goes through a whole process, all the way up to bleaching, screening, and cleaning the paper. But once the paper is distributed as a product for sale and it is used by people, the paper is then thrown into the trash. In a linear economy, the paper would just end up in a landfill. In some places, though, the paper is retrieved and goes through a whole other process in order for it to be recycled. Once the papers are retrieved, they are sent to a recycling center. At the recycling center, the papers are shredded up and soaked to become pulp. Once the pulp is soaked, it is then flattened and dried back into paper again. Aluminum has a similar life cycle. The raw material is mined and manufactured, making it ready as product to be purchased and used. This process is quite long and tedious and uses a lot of other resources such as the energy it takes to run the machines that manufacture the raw material into something we can actually use. Sometimes, in a linear economy, aluminum is used as then thrown into a landfill. But in a circular economy, the material is recycled. The production and fabrication are only done once, saving precious natural and energy resources. Let's look at one last example. These are household appliances. In a linear economy, these appliances would most likely end up in a garbage dump once their parts become too rusted and too worn out to be repaired. In a circular economy, the manufacturer would do things differently. They would make sure that the different components can be easily replaced or repaired. And the parts that cannot be replaced or repaired, they would create with materials that do not harm the environment. They might even make those parts with materials that are compostable. When the appliance becomes too old to be repaired, they would find a way to retrieve it so that it can be disassembled. They would make sure that the compostable parts are segregated for decomposition and the recycled parts are used to make new products. By aiming to establish a circular economy, we help save natural resources, lessen the volume of products we consume, and lessen the harm on our environment. That's all for today's lesson. Hope you learned from our topic today. Be inspired to study, students. This is me again, Teacher Meshel Falame Menjola, saying, Tara Batasanians, together, let's embrace wellness. Thank you and bye!